Peace, love, and light. It's your girl, Kim Martin Raymond, host of the How Now podcast, where we talk about how to live in the now. And I wanted to come on to talk about a recent experience that I had, and I'm entitling it, Let's Get Naked. Now, some of you may be like, okay, and where is she going with this? And I wanted to share an experience that I had recently because it was something that was so powerful to me, and I wanted to have an opportunity to share it. And I was recently invited to a birthday party at a spa. And the spa is here in Atlanta, and it's Korean based. And when you go to this spa, when you walk in, you take your shoes off. And after you pay a cover charge to get into the spa, you then are ushered into a locker area, where you take all of your clothes off and you are completely naked. You are given a uniform to wear that you wear in certain areas that are co-ed, but you initially start completely nude, and you go into a certain area, you take a shower to take all of the perfumes and other things off of your body, and then you're offered an opportunity to get into either a cold, warm, or a hot type of whirlpool spa. They have other services that are offered as well, like massage, reflexology, hip baths, and things of that nature that are an additional cost, but you go in completely naked. And this is the first time ever that I have done something like this, where I was completely nude. I recently lost 64 pounds since last year, and I had surgery, a folliculectomy and abdominoplasty, to remove 8 pounds of loose skin off of my abdomen. So I have scars that have been healing. So I am 8 months post-op and have scars and things like that. And this was the first time ever that I've been in a public place completely nude, of course with other women, but first time ever that I've been completely nude. And I have to say that it was the most liberating experience that I have had to date, because I wasn't looking around and comparing myself to the other women. I wasn't feeling self-conscious about my body or any of the scars or anything else that was on my body. I went in and it was just me. I went in, I took my shower, I caught up with my girlfriend, and she had a couple of other friends who had come as well. And we were just naked, sitting, talking, while we were taking our showers, and while we were getting into, the whirlpools of our choice. And we just sat there and were having a conversation. And it was something that was so beautiful and so powerful to me, because I was not thinking of anything outside of our conversation. I wasn't worried about whether my breast was sagging, whether anybody could see my scars from my surgery. None of those things meant anything. I just went in and was absorbing the experience, how cold the water felt, how the water felt on my skin. I got into the different whirlpools, and how the hot water was so soothing, and then I got into the cold water and how cold it was and the effect that it was having on my body. Those were the things that I was focusing on, not on who was in there and who was looking and what anything was looking like. And it was such a liberating experience for me, and then, as a person who is constantly in thought about things, one thing that I was thinking is, this is just such a beautiful space, because I wasn't looking to see who was wearing red bottom shoes, who had a Louis bag, what kind of clothes people were wearing. We were just a bunch of girls hanging out in the water. And that's something that's so powerful, because there's no judgment. There wasn't anything that outside of people's, I guess, tattoos, that made us know anything else about them, outside of the fact that we were just a bunch of girls enjoying the water, enjoying this natural experience. Then I was able to come out of there, take my shower, and then, we had little uniforms that they gave us, and we were able to go into the communal areas where they had different pods set up, and you can go into the different pods, and there were different levels of heat. Some of them had coal in it, some of them had gold and silver in it, some of them had amethyst in it, and they had different meanings and different properties, and that were absorbed when you went into these different pods, and you were able to go in them interchangeably. They had another pod that was air conditioned, so that if you were in the heat, then you can come out and you can go and cool off in that air conditioning pod. And again, like I said, they had different services. I had a hip bath. It was my first time having a hip bath, where you sat on the stool, and there were herbs and things that were put underneath, and it helped with vaginal cleansing, and that was something that I had never done before either. And it was a wonderful experience to be able to be in this space, to experience these things for the first time, and to be finally in a space where I was just accepting who I was, and there was no judgment in it. Self-judgment more than anything. There wasn't any of that. It was just going and experiencing the sensations, the heat, the cooling, the different pods, and how they felt, and how I felt being in those spaces. And it was just so liberating and so powerful. And I wanted to share that because that was a big milestone for me, and being able to accept who I am right now, right where I am in this space. And that's something that, I let stand in the way of me doing things that, some people just, enjoy naturally. I remember riding a horse for the first time last year because I always thought I was too big to get on a horse, and I didn't want to hurt the horse, so I didn't want to get on a horse. And that was a fear that I conquered last year. And now a fear of worrying about what other people thought, and about body acceptance and things of that nature. I was able to go in and enjoy the experience. I thought I was just going to go for a couple of hours. I wound up staying there for 5 hours. I was in there enjoying it, going in the different pods, experiencing the different sensations, meditating, having meaningful conversation with my girlfriends, and it was just such a powerful experience. I even took the next day off from work just so that I can continue to relish in that feeling, and to process, the liberation, the freedom that I felt in going into this spa and being completely naked, uninhibited. And that's something that I think that everybody at some point in their life should experience, to be able to do that, first privately, and then to turn around and experience it publicly. Not saying that I'm saying go out in the street and be naked. There's a space for it, and there's an appropriate time for it. But just being able to be free, to be able to walk freely in, the way that you came into this earth, the way that you came into this world, and to be able to walk around and to be unaffected by it, but just to experience it is something that's so powerful. So I wanted to share that because I felt that it was a huge step in my wellness journey, being able to be in a space that could have been a vulnerable space, that could have been a space that triggered me, because being full-figured my entire life and covering up and guarding certain parts of my body, because I didn't want them to be seen, because I was ashamed. But just being able to be in that space and to be able to walk in that confidence that I'm just me, and this is all of me, and this is who I am, was something that was so liberating. So again, I just wanted to share that as part of my wellness journey, because I think that we can all grow and learn from that we're all here, that when we put our feet on the ground of what we call earth, we're all connected. energetically, we're all connected spiritually. You know, we are all drawn to this earth, and when we put our feet on this earth, we're all one. So, you know, like I said, just something to think about, just something to ponder, you know, in this thing that we call life. So I hope, like I said, that this was something that was meaningful and something that I hope to continue to share with others as we go through this journey of life together. So with that, I will say peace and blessings, and I look forward to seeing you the next time.